Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to be sitting down today to talk about my knitting plans for summer 2025. I have another seasonal knitting plan video for you. I cannot believe that spring is already over, or pretty much. I mean, it's June 1st today, and that's crazy. Like, I feel like the spring went by so quickly. May especially felt like it just flew by. And so I'm really excited to be sitting down and talking about summer. So I've got, gosh, how many plans do I have? I've got 6 plans to talk about. I have some inspiration to talk about and what goals I would like to hit this summer. So let's get into it. But first of all, when it comes to summer knitting, I honestly don't like that many summer garments. Like, a knit summer garment is not my favorite thing. I kind of one of those people that hates summer. I just do not like being warm. I am very much a homebody, and so when the days are really long, it kind of gets to me. Like, it makes it harder for me to relax at night because the sun's still up and I feel like I should be doing stuff, but I'm happiest like knitting on my couch in the evenings. And so a lot of summers I'm just trying to survive. So my summer knitting plans probably look very different from someone who enjoys being out in the summer, because like I in the summer am just throwing whatever clothing on my body. I am very partial to like a linen romper in the summer. Like, I'm wearing one right now where just one item of clothing, don't have to think about it, don't have to like, it's easy to wash, it's easy to take care of. So I don't knit a lot of summer knits. So my inspiration for this season is not really around knitting for the summer and like what I want to wear and what I want to feel like. I do still have inspiration, but it's more like what vibes I want to curate and how I can do that partially through the projects I'm choosing. And so it might be a little more hodgepodgey than some of my other seasonal knitting plans where I'm like, in fall, I want to feel like a dark academia girly and wear all these things. Like, I'm more thinking of like, I want to survive and the fun vibes I can bring are these. And so I'm gonna show you some pictures I found that are kind of what I'm inspired by in this season. I always use Notion to do my seasonal knitting planning. I love Notion. I do almost everything on Notion. So I'm screen sharing my Notion board for summer. So here's a sneak peek of the top as well, but here's like the summer knitting plans. I chose the emoji for this season is a canoe. And then my inspiration, we're starting here, is around summer camp. I was a huge summer camp kid. Every year, like, I probably spent at least 6 weeks of the summer in different summer camps. I did like theater camp, dance camp. I'd always do a sailing camp at our local reservoir. We had like little sunfish sailing boats. I also did like a normal water sports one where you'd take out canoes and go swimming and paddleboarding and all of this again on our reservoir. I also did a lot of YMCA camps, and so spent a lot of time over the summer in elementary school cafeterias and gyms. One summer I was just in a field for a few weeks. Like, they had a field where there was like one teepee and we just met there every day and then had lots of field trips. So all that to say, summer camp holds a big place in my heart. Not a sleepaway summer camp, but like a daily, you go there, you do your little adventures, you make friendship bracelets, all of that, and then you go home. So huge summer camp girl. And so I'm kind of trying to bring those vibes for myself this year, because I do miss like going on little adventures and like just kind of being forced to be outside as a kid. But now, like, I would like to force myself a little bit more to be outside this summer. And so the summer camp vibes are here. And I feel like I say that every summer, but this summer I'm like, please just go outside. Like, I do not have a full-time work schedule anymore, so I would like to be outside more. And so my inspiration, summer camp. For colors that you'll see that I'm planning on knitting with, it's really hodgepodge. It's random things. I kind of like that though about summer. It reminds me of like the colors of friendship bracelets and like the used water bottles you bring to camp and all of that. Like, just, I said both brights and neutrals and a little gentle chaos of colors. Like, just you're grabbing what you have. So I've chosen pictures of camping. I really do want to go camping at least once this summer. Chosen pictures of swimming in a lake. I'd love to swim in a natural body of water, not partial to which one. I do have pictures of inside too because I like inside, but curating these vibes for myself, of getting to read a little bit more, eating, like making intentional snacks and enjoying that, and like maybe being by an open window, that kind of vibe. Being by an open window painting and looking outside would be wonderful. Having a picnic or just, going down by a river, sitting there for a while, reading or knitting. And then I threw in this picture of The Secret Life of Arrietty. I just talked about different Studio Ghibli, whatever you want to say, movies. And this screen grab really speaks to the vibes I want with the little marigolds and just the colors, the blue sky, all of that. So I'm looking for these kinds of vibes. And this is not really, that much to show, but I just want to go outside and do little adventures and just kind of survive, because this is not the season I thrive in, but I would like to enjoy myself a little bit, and I would like to just have kind of fun little projects on the way, and knit with like fun colors, do things that I've kind of been putting off, like those kinds of things are what I'm looking at. And so I also have my bingo goals that each season I try to look at and see like, okay, what ones could I maybe check off this season if I wanted to like focus on them. And so I have a few in mind. Here's where my bingo card currently stands. I'm getting close to bingo. I mean, not really that close. I'm like 2 away on both this section and this section. So I might get to bingo soon-ish if I focused on those, which I kind of am. I'm kind of just incidentally focusing on quite a few of these. But yeah, so I'm getting close to a few, and I'm eyeing a few squares on here. The first is release 2 designs, which you'll see in my plans, knitting with a new fiber, which honestly goes hand in hand with making a sweater from hand spun, because I'm spinning up a lot of fibers that I've never knit with before. I've got try a new stitch right here. I would like to experiment with that, and you'll see that in some of my plans, and then collaborate on a design, which I'll talk more about in my plans. And so yes, these are the goals. This is what I'm thinking, and with all of that in mind, here are the plans I have. The spilled soup sweater that I've been talking about for a while, I've shown, I think in a podcast at least, my little swatch for, which is this. So yes, I'm designing a circular yoke colorwork sweater with different soup ingredients to make this sweater. I've got a mushroom, I've got a carrot that in this version looks more like a pepper, but I have refined to hopefully be more carroty. And then I've got a butternut squash. So in the midst of designing it, I cast it on actually last night, and I'm still on the yoke, but I'll show you where I am. I'm still on the collar. So this is the collar right now. It is double folded, so it'll fold in like so, and I decided to do short rows in the collar, so we're working through those as well. We're not here to talk about everything, and you'll notice that the color, this color is not anywhere in here because I decided to swatch in these yarns, which I bought this yarn. This is the colorway Soup by Salty Blonde Fine Fibers. All of this yarn is in her Dolce fingering base. I bought this last October, just didn't know what to do with it, but was in love with it. Came up with this idea, actually reached out to Ryan of Salty Blonde to see if maybe she'd want to work with me on designing it. She said she'd love to, and so she sent me the main color that I'll actually be using. So I'll do these two together. This is the colorway Flour Sack. And all of this is a fingering weight yarn, Dolce fingering. It's a very, very soft, I think it's 19.5 microns, superwash fingering yarn. And so I'm working the sweater up in these two, which I'm so excited about. I've got, this is the colorway and the information. Flour Sack is the main color. That's the base information as well. And then, you know, this contrast color, I'm in love with it. Like those little pops of green and the little pops of brown throughout, like this little section of green, are bringing me so much joy. So I'm really excited to already be working on this, and it is definitely a really high priority because I would like to release it at a seasonally appropriate time, so early autumn. And so to have enough time for testing and everything, I should actually have already had it done. So we're going to push back the timeline a little bit, but I still would like to release it in the fall. And so I'm really excited to actually finally have it on the needles and be working towards that. So that is the first plan. My second plan, if you watch, you may remember, because there's not been a day that's gone by where I don't have dread that this is still on the needles and it's not the highest priority project, because I was really enjoying working on this project, and then sample knits came up, other knits came up, and I put it down for a little bit. So I'm really, really excited to get back to it this season. It's like a very high goal of mine, and that is this design here. I'm calling this right now like the flower sweater because there's flower designs. I do have a tentative name, but I'm still sussing out of if it's in use by other people and if I do like the name. So maybe I'll poll y'all in a different podcast or something on my potential name. But yes, it's a raglan colorwork design that I'm using my Advent from 2024. I got a Zakami Yarns Advent. Here's all the colors that I've stored on a knitting needle cord, which explains why I've been missing a knitting needle cord. So this is the rest of the Advent that's left. So I'm using that, and then I'm using Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock Worsted in the colorway Midnight Sea, which is a very nice, beautiful dark brown or dark blue. And yeah, I really, really love this sweater. Obviously, it's now not seasonally appropriate. Like the summer, this is going to be a work at only inside kind of project, because it's DK weight. It's both like heavy merinos, or it's Highland wool and merino color work. And so it is going to be a warm, dead of winter kind of sweater. But I can knit on it inside. Like my house has AC luckily enough. And so I will probably make this a work on it in the evenings when I'm at home on the couch kind of project. And I think I'll get a lot of progress done on it like that. Honestly, it's not that far from being done. Like the color work goes pretty quickly because it's quite engaging, and I'm on the body. I've split already. Like I need to do sleeve and I need to do the rest of the body. It's not that far off. So I am really excited about this one and want to get back to it. As soon as I'm done with the spilled soup, I'm going to finish this because the spilled soup just needs to take priority time-wise. But then I don't like having lingering whips, and I cast this on in late January. So it's almost been 6 months. And I don't like that at all. So I'm really excited to get back to it soon and just have it done. That is also another design. And so I don't think I'll run the 2 test calls at the same time though. And I might want to do a second sample of that one. So that test call and the pattern would probably not come out until like late fall, early winter, which is more seasonally appropriate for it anyways, I guess, unless you're in the Southern Hemisphere. But okay, those are the first 2 plans, designs that I'm like just time sensitive. The next thing that I really would like to make is a gingham pouch. I'll show you what the pattern looks like. So this is the gingham pouch. It's patterned by Saskia & Co., who used to be the Petite Knitter, and it's just a cute little pouch, you know, a little bag. And I would really like to make this to have little garden hauls in. I, for the first time, have a little garden of my own. In the past, I've always lived in apartments and maybe had a little patio, but like never really had garden space. And now we have like a tiny little garden, and I got like a tiny garden bed thing. It's like, I think it's 4 by 2 feet. and it's like a foot tall. It's like a tiny little thing that I'm growing. Well, I have containers for tomatoes, so I have some pots with 2 different kinds of tomatoes. I've got herbs, basil, mint, chives, oregano. No, I don't have oregano. Chives, cilantro, parsley, lemon balm, chamomile, and lavender. And then I have carrots, cucumbers, bell peppers, and cantaloupes, like little baby cantaloupes. They're like personal cantaloupes. So I am so excited to have garden hauls. Ooh, and I have a raspberry bush, a blackberry bush, and a big strawberry plant. And so I am going to have some garden hauls, and I need something to carry my goods in. And I thought it would be so cute to knit something to hold my stuff. And I was looking around for quite a while, honestly, at different patterns to see if I could find a little garden haul bag that I'd like. I could crochet it. Like, I know crochet normally has more structure, but crochet doesn't work that well for me. And so I finally found this gingham pouch that actually I'd had in my library. At some point it was a free pattern. It's not anymore, but I downloaded it when it was a free pattern, and so I have it, and I actually think that I'm gonna knit it out of these 2 colors. And so you're supposed to hold a fingering and a lace together. I'll just hold these double. I think that'll be fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be off gauge. Like, it's meant for me to just get stuff from my garden. So I'm just gonna hold these double to make my little gingham pouch. And I think it'll be so cute too with like brown and green for my garden, because those are garden colors. Like, I got dirt and I got plant. It's perfect. So I'm super stoked about that plan too. And it's kind of time sensitive because I want to use it for garden hauls, but I have like a few baby strawberries right now. So I think it'll be a little bit before I'm getting garden hauls worthy of a little pouch. So I've got some time, but maybe like in a month, I can have it done. And that is a lot of colorwork projects straight. I'm looking at 3 colorwork projects in a row, which I love colorwork. I honestly think it's really satisfying to knit. And so normally I'd try to maybe stagger it, and maybe I will. Maybe I'll decide like to move up another one of my plans so that I'm not doing 3 colorwork things straight. But I also know myself and know that I do actually really enjoy knitting colorwork, and so I'm not that intimidated by like having that many things straight. By the end of those 3, I probably will need a substantial colorwork break, but then I have my next 3 knitting plans, and so I won't do colorwork for a while. So my next plan is to knit the lunat. Here is what the lunat looks like. This is a pattern by Carissa, and it is a fingering weight, broken rib, raglan t-shirt. I'm showing you a photo, you can kind of see that as well, but just for details on it, yep. So fingering weight, yep, broken rib. It's made with a US 6, which is kind of a big needle for just a fingering weight gauge, but it seems to work out. And I am knitting it, or I want to knit it out of Explorer Knits and Fibers Joshua Tree. And so I work at Explorer Knits. It is kind of dangerous to work there. I've shown this yarn in my last podcast. This was like the final few skeins of my compensation yarn from, I sample knit 2 different sweaters for them. And so these are my last comp skeins. They just did a run of Joshua Tree for May National Park Story. And so, you know, I was helping dye it and wind it and all of this, and just kept staring at it and being like, I need it. I need some more Joshua Tree. Did I just finish a whip that used Joshua Tree? Yes. Do I need more of it in my life because it's just like one of my favorite colorways ever? Yes. And so I got these 2 skeins. They were extras, which was perfect because they're exactly how much I need. It's 2 skeins, and it's on a base I've never tried, which is the Cashmere Cavern sock base. So it's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And it is so soft and squishy. Like, I just keep winding this base or rinsing it or, you know, maneuvering it in whatever way as I'm working and being like, I really need to knit something with this. It is so soft. And so this is my opportunity to do so. And I'm so excited. Like, look at those. Look at the speckles on that. It's going to be great. So this is kind of a continuation, honestly, of my spring knitting plans, which was like soft academia. I am getting my PhD starting in the fall or in August, and would like some pieces that I can wear that feel a little bit more professional. Like, I do have a lot of nice sweaters, but none of them feel like super, super professional that I'd like necessarily want to wear with a pair of trousers. I wear them more with like a pair of jeans or leggings or a skirt or something like that. And I think that the lunat is a really great option for wearing, you know, when I have a presentation or I just want to look nice and also get to wear my hand knits and show personality while looking nice. And so I'm really excited to knit it, and I think it'll be fun for the fall. And so that's the next one. And then my next plan is another design that has been on my mind for quite a while. It is, again, with Explorer Knits yarn. I actually got this yarn for yarn compensation as well. And so what I'm planning to make is a design. I'm currently calling it like a piping sweater, but basically a sweater, a drop shoulder where all the seams have little I-cords on them to look like these like seams. I saw like almost a year ago someone walking like in a restaurant with a sweater that kind of looked like this, where I was like, I would love to make something like that. And so I am. And so I'm really excited about this idea. I already actually have 2 sweater quantities for it. So I have 2 different sweaters. And in the fall, or in the summer, I want to make this version, which is like a neutral with a bright. And so I want to use these yarns. This is linen by Explorer Knits on just the Denali fingering base, which is a normal sock yarn. And then this is the Surrey alpaca. It's a lace weight. And so both of these are on linen. I'm gonna knit the sweater out of this. And then I have some Sagrada Familia, which like one of the top sellers always at Explorer Knits, and just such a beautiful color. Like, just in love with this. So I will use this for kind of the contrast details. This is also that cashmere sock, and I just love it, and I'm excited that I'll probably have enough to then also make myself a very fun pair of socks with it. But like, it's so fun. So yeah, these will be held together for that one. They're not held together, but these will be used in that project, and that'll be really fun to design. And then my final summer knit, probably the most impractical thing I'm gonna make this summer as far as like seasonality, is the Snowy Forest sweater by Midori Hirose. And so this is what that sweater looks like. It is huge. It's got these beautiful horseshoe cables. It's got the circular yoke. I really like this version in the blue. I think that it's slightly more fitted. I like the balloon sleeves on it. I don't know, maybe it's not more fitted, but I really maybe just like the styling in this photo. And I will be knitting this sweater out of this yarn, which is Paisley Knits Cloud Base, it's a bulky weight yarn. This pattern is actually Aran weight, or maybe even worsted. Yeah, this pattern is actually a worsted weight, but I've seen people make it out of other cloud yarns because this is like a blown yarn, and so the gauge is quite flexible. Like, you can see here's one strand. So yeah, I could work it at a bulky base, but I can also like not. Like, it gives you a lot of flexibility. And it is 70% baby alpaca, 7% merino wool, and 23% nylon. And so it's going to be warm. Like, this blown yarn too is going to be warm. Like, this is again, dead of winter sweater, which is why I want it. It was actually on my winter knitting plans, but this yarn did not arrive in time. And so I decided, like, I might as well just make it in the summer when like I need some dopamine knitting and would like to stare at a bright pink for a few weeks straight as I work on it. And then when it comes to winter and I'm like, oh, it's cold and dark, I can be like, oh, fun sweater time, fun sweater time. So I think that it's gonna be fun to work on in the summer. And again, like a lot of people say, use or wear bright colors in the winter because you're feeling depressed, it's dark out, it's cold, it's damp, like all of this, it's kind of gloomy. I live in Colorado. We get like 300 days of sunshine a year, so I don't have to think about that as much in the winter. It's still very nice in the winter, like at least sunny. It's cold, but it's sunny. And B, I like the winter. I like when it gets dark early. I like being cozy and cold. Like, I love being under a blanket. And so I am kind of treating my summer seasonal depression the same way you treat winter seasonal depression, and using bright colors. And hopefully that will make me feel very good when I just feel like grumpy and not motivated in the summer. And so I'm very excited to work on this one. But it's probably the lowest priority because it is the least practical knit and like the least like, oh, I need this done for whatever reason. So yes, those are my summer knitting plans. We will see if I get to all of them. I don't think a single one of them, other than the gingham pouch, is actually going to be used and worn in the summer. I might want to wear the spilled soup sweater to flock, depending on weather there. Maybe I could get away with wearing it for like at least a few hours at flock, but generally all of these are sweaters. I'm gonna wear them later in, in the autumn and in fall, or in fall and winter, but it'll be nice to just have a bunch of them done and like kind of ready to wear. Like I think that'll be nice too, especially as I'm entering my PhD program and my time for knitting is about to go down severely. I'm kind of really trying to stack some projects that I've been really excited about, but maybe take a little bit more brain space, or yeah, take more focus, take more out of me, because I have more to give right now than I will come the fall. And so I want to like really focus on getting some things done. And so when my knitting time does go down, I don't feel it quite as much or don't feel quite as bad about it. So I'm very excited about these. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun season of knitting. I don't know. It's making me feel more excited for summer, which is funny because none of this is for summer, but I'm like, okay, at least I have all these fun things to knit ahead. And so I guess that's it on my end. Thank you so much for being here. And I would love, love, love to hear what your summer knitting plans are, if you do kind of plan seasonally, or just, what you're planning on making for the next few months. It doesn't have to be like seasonal knitting plans. You could just rattle off a few things on your queue. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you're thinking. If any of these plans resonate with you, if you want to knit anything along with me, that's always really fun. So let me know. And with that, I will say goodbye and I will talk to you all soon. Okay, thanks. Bye.